Are you a millennial? There is a new generation growing up around the world who has a very different way of thinking. They are often called the Millennials or Generation Y. Researches about this new generation are done by non-millennials for non-millennials and say nothing about their real issues and motivations. For the first time in history, here's an overview of this new generation by a millennial for millennials. Millennials have a very distinct type of personality. They are confident, connected, and open to change. I did some research and saw some very interesting facts. Let's compare young adults in the United States between 18 to 29 with the older adults. 9% more consider themselves liberals. 14% less consider religion as being very important, compared to when the previous generation was younger. 18% less watch more than an hour of television in the last day. 15% less read the newspaper in the last day. 21% more only has a cell phone and no landline. 35% more created an account on social media websites. 18% more has piercings other than in the ears. 18% more has tattoos. 65% of the people attracted to my self-transformation business match the profile of millennials and are below 40 years old. Now, you have to keep in mind that being a millennial has nothing to do with the age. It is a type of personality, and the shift from one generation to the next is very gradual. What we have seen so far is just the beginning of trends, as the real millennial generation is still young, has not affirmed itself yet, and does not have a voice in the media. Employers often see millennials as being able to climb the Everest and achieve anything, but not being able to punch a time card in the morning. There are also much less young adults enrolling into the army than ever before. Here's truth time. Millennials have a stronger sense of purpose. They have a stronger inner direction. They are much less likely to follow other people's agendas and to conform, which we can see with their liberalism and nonconformism. They also watch much less television and are much more connected over the internet. This makes them much less vulnerable to media propaganda and allows them to have a much more progressive way of thinking outside the box. They also put much less importance on religion, but the proportion of people who believe in God remains the same. Here's truth time. This new generation is more connected to consciousness and technologies. They are going away from mainstream media and going away from religion. Some of them fall into the rebellion mindset, which is often temporary, before falling back into a zone of consciousness, power, and freedom. They are going away from fixed ways of thinking and have a more free way of thinking. The boundaries and limits of their mind have been broken down. Two things result from this. They have a hard time adapting into the outdated education system, and some of them are very gifted and talented. They are born with a stronger spiritual connection, and much more millennials are into spirituality unaffiliated with any religion. However, not all of them believe in God. Many of them don't have any concepts of spirituality. Yet they have this strong sense that something isn't quite right with society. They have this undeniable urge to live life their own way and to follow their own path. They are not aware that they have a strong spiritual connection, just as you are not currently aware that your heart is beating, yet you enjoy the benefits of it. The way to reach out to these people is also different, as they have a strong BS detector and think in a fundamentally different way. A basic principle in marketing is to talk about specific outcomes that either fix a problem or make something better. This is true for the previous generation, but not for the millennials. The previous generation look at the external world and external circumstances. In contrast, the focus for millennials has shifted inward. They look at the external world through their inner perceptions. That is why so many kids have attention deficit disorder. Their emotional baggage now affects their sight and focus. Now they need to master their inner perceptions. Millennials follow their path in life and look for what resonates with their path, to either remove obstacles or open possibilities. This might seem similar to looking for objectives, but the boundaries are much less defined. Also, instead of matching objectives with their rational minds, they look for what resonates with their path through their inner perceptions. For millennials, vibration, coherency, and alignment with their path is very important. There are people of the previous generation who look for spiritual awakening, but they usually seek it as an end result. Millennials seek it as a tool to achieve something else. Whether you like it or not, this is the generation that is coming, and nothing can be done to reverse these trends. Society will have to adapt to this new generation because they are not going to conform. If you look at the revolution in the Middle East, it started with the young generation, with the millennials. Many of them don't fit in society and have a hard time finding their place. It is time for them to understand themselves and their uniqueness, to assume their place in society, and to step into the power they hold as millennials. Please share this video with the millennials you know.